Premier Racing Setups is the longest-running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans. It's round number 3 here tonight for the Outlaw Pro Late Model Series presented by Outlaw Dirt Series. We're back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network to bring you more of the racing action for these pro late models from a 3/8 mile last week to a 3/8 mile this week. The only difference is last week it was high, wide, and handsome. Tonight, though, we replaced the Ute tires and put an inside safer barrier. Call it a Jersey barrier, if you will. Tonight's racing groove going to be tucked up right down around the middle. You're going to want to put that front fender basically on the inside wall in the feature here tonight. But we will see some drivers going up around the outside, the Kyle Larson line, if you will, because, well, you can make speed up there. The problem is it's the long way around. The slick here is likely right through the middle. We'll see how that will transpire through the night. Coming into the night, though, race fans, we do have a couple drivers that are, well, new here, but the drivers that have been around that make the point standings look like this. Stephen Rayfield, he comes in as the points championship leader after last week's. Orndorff is second, and then Adam Scott is sitting third in the overall points championship standings. Steven had himself a great showing in the first 2 weeks. Can he keep it up here in week number 3? That's going to be the question. Watching the qualifying times come in here tonight as these drivers are out hot lapping for their qualifying session. 3 minutes, 2 laps is what they got. I'm looking at it, and it's looking like Dylan Coyle currently has one of the top fastest times, and I think we can slot him in right now into the provisional pole here tonight. So car 81 for Dylan Coyle will snag the pole. Second is going to be Aiden Lewis, Jackson Dixon, Stephen Rayfield, the points championship leader, and how about the agent of Sam Bachman? He is 5th overall. That is the top 5 qualifying times here tonight as we get ready to go heat racing. Heat racing here tonight. We got 3 drivers here. We will take 3 drivers out of all the heat races. So 3 drivers out of heat race number 1, 3 more drivers to equal 6 out of 2, and so on for as many heat races that we have here tonight. 2 B mains scheduled. We'll see if we need both B mains to sort out the starting lineup for the feature here tonight. Otherwise, maybe just one. We'll see how that plays out. We will take 18 drivers into our feature event. And, well, what do you say? Let's stop talking about the racing and let's get you down to the, the track here. We'll get that starting lineup fixed. But, hey, the driver that started the front row here, he is the driver that laid down the quick time in our qualifying session. Dylan Coyle will snag P number 1. To the outside of him, car number 57, he is your points championship leader. That'll be Steven Rayfield. Peyton Anderson is scheduled to roll off from the third spot. Brendan Schatz, the driver right there, he had last week's feature event. He'll start P number 4. It'll be Cameron Chandler there in P number 5 with Jeffrey Hyatt back there in the 6th spot. 7th then, let me see if I got that right. It'll be Robert Callies, and Robert Clements, I believe, is scheduled to roll from the 9th position here. One driver going to be a scratch, it does look like. Unfortunately, it looks like Keegan Newberry going to be a scratch here from this heat race. 10 drivers out there, so it looks like we're going to go with 3 heat races here tonight. 3 heat races. 10 drivers in each. Well, you got to see one of those, the DLB Yankees out there. Good friend of ours of the network, Donald Bennett, tuning in here to watch some of these pro late models. Donald Bennett, a longtime iRacer here and a big supporter of our channel. And, of course, Donald throwing it back to old Joe White. It's been many moons since I've heard from Joe. He's still out there calling some races. We're ready to go with this one. 8 laps of distance, 10 drivers. Call it 9 because we got Newberry as a scratch. We'll go top 3 straight to the feature. Put 8 laps on the bid board. Here we go. Green flag is out here tonight in the heat races. Great start by Dylan Coyle as he had the quick time. There you got Rayfield just behind him. The battle is going to be for the 4th and 5th position. Chandler, Anderson battling side by side. 3 wide momentarily. Lap number 1 going to go to Coyle. Coyle out front, still continuing to lead. Anderson has the 3rd spot. Schatz has the 4th spot. Chandler has P number 5. Is he happy with the 5th position? Well, we're about to find out because he is not locked in if we ended this heat race right now. Drop down with 6 to go. It'll be 5 to go this time by at the line. Once we get back, everybody into the single file. One driver a little out of shape back there. That was the number 326, Donnie Thibodeau. Donnie back there running into the 7th spot currently. See if he can track down. Quick time that time by for Coyle out front. He laid down a 13.22 second lap as the race leader. So that Premier Racing setup number 81 in this heat race here tonight, that is definitely set on kill mode. He's got Rayfield just behind him. Remember, Rayfield is the points championship leader. He'll go down. He'll try the bottom side of the speedway. See if there's anything down there through 1 and 2. Doesn't look like it. Back to the top of 3 and 4. He'll try to widen that cushion out just a little bit. Popsicle stakes up into the air to be 2 more times around. There is your race leader. Where's the transfer spot, though? There is the number 43A. That is Peyton Anderson. Anderson with the white flag. He is in the transfer spot. He's got Schatz just behind him. Chandler, Hyatt sitting back there. Looks like Dylan Coyle's going to be able to go wire to wire. So it'll be Coyle, Rayfield, Anderson at the line. Schatz, Hyatt, Chandler, Callies, Thibodeau all have to go to a last chance qualifier a little bit later on. So Dylan having himself a great race. He'll have himself a great starting spot into the feature. He does not have to worry from here on out. Let's see if the old starting lineup works. Nope, broken. Go figure. How about this? Aiden Lewis going to start on the pole. To the outside of him, the 007. That is Sam Bachman. Johnny Tucker at the 121 entry will go from 3rd. Nate Wim Hoff will go from P number 4. Clayton Bowden will go from the 5th spot. Devin Hauer will go from 6th. Brandon Carroll from the 7th spot. Eversole, that's Robert Eversole. And car number 11 will go from 8th. Seth Krebs will go from the 9th spot, and Dustin Burchett will go from the shotgun position here tonight. That's your starting lineup for heat race number 2. Another 8 laps. Another 3 drivers will head themselves off into the feature. Everybody else going to have to funnel into the last chance qualifiers here tonight, or the B mains, if you will. You hear me, race fans, talk about B mains, last chance qualifiers? Well, depending where you are in the world where any of the racing is, I guess you really want to say, whether it's down under, north of the border, right here in the States, or even over in our good friends where the Tea Party came from. They call it a little bit something else, especially if it's late models, or if it's modified, or it's sprint cars, or 600s. Tonight, though, it's the pro late models. So who will join Coyle as having himself a locked-in spot? Will it be Hauer, Bowden will be one of these drivers on the front row of Lewis or Bachman. Ready? Let's go. Let's figure it out together. Great start by Lewis. Bachman sleeping a little bit on that start. The Shaggy TV 007 for Bachman holding on to that second spot. Where C, lap number 1 will go to Lewis out front. So Lewis has it. It's Bachman, Wemhoff, Tucker, Hauer the first lap. One driver contact, one up into the outside wall. The 11 of Eversole going to go around. We'll see if that draws a caution flag here. Currently, green flag still out. One driver took the hot pits, Dustin Burchett, down on pit road. Battle is heating up, though, for that final transfer spot. It's still Lewis, Bachman, Wemhoff, but Tucker, Johnny Tucker, trying to tuck himself into a transfer spot. But Howard's just behind him. 5 cars, 3 are going to go. Everybody else going to one of those B-Main's last chance qualifiers here tonight. 5-car breakaway, one to the bottom there. Here comes Hauer. Hauer's going to make contact. That will draw the caution flag here tonight. Hauer and Wemhoff. Wemhoff was in a transfer spot. Both of them taking on some damage here. Slider, not clear. Let's take a look back here. We watched it. We're watching again. Watch the 316 and high. It's also going to get. So it's Tucker, Wemhoff, and Hauer all in that one. Hauer was the driver going for the slider. These drivers do have 2 fast repairs or quick repairs, if you will. So these drivers that you just saw get wrapped up in that one, they will be able to go to the hot pits. They will be able to pull up a backup car, if you will, a fast repair, a brand new hot rod. And they get back out there slinging some of the clay out here tonight. Lights on the old iRacing.com pace truck are off here, so we are 1 to go back to racing. Should have just a few laps here left on the board. Everybody is back out onto the speedway except for the number 75 of Dustin Burchett. Burchett has been off the racetrack since lap number 2. Green flag back into the air. Here we go. Put 3 on the board. One driver trying to make quick work down to the bottom side. That is Krebs. Krebs was in the transfer spot now. Johnny Tucker will go around the outside. He'll tuck into that third and final transfer spot. Lewis, Bachman, Tucker, the cars that are in. Here comes Krebs one more time. He'll go down to the bottom side. The 268 there for Krebs. Love that paint scheme. I think he has Donald on the top of that number 268 as the white silk is in the air to be the final trip around the speedway here. Slider from Krebs. He'll have the spot from Tucker. Aiden Lewis looks like he's going to be able to pick it up. Transfer spot, though, give it to Krebs. So Aiden Lewis with that heat race win. So Lewis, Bachman, Krebs will all go on. Tucker and the rest of that field, well, they're going to have to head to the dreaded last chance qualifier. Heat race number 3. Nope, the truck still didn't fix it. This is how their lineup, though. It'll be Jackson Dixon on the front row here in car number 25. Harry Rittenhouse in car 44 will go from P2. Adam Scott will go from the 3rd spot. James Dahl will go from 4th. Ian Rumsey into the 5th spot, and then it'll be Chris Thibodeau there in the 6th position. 7th will go to Drake Baxter. Brett Williams, Jay Henderson rounding out that field. So 10 drivers. Remember, it is 3 to qualify. That's why we saw that race there in heat race number 2 get so heated for that final transfer spot, which was P3. Heartbreaker for some of those drivers. We'll see how this works out. I did miss one driver out there, Cody Schaefer. Car number 27. Looks like he's scheduled to roll off from the 8th position. I think we missed him when we looked down over the lineup. Got a lot of good drivers starting deep in this one. Put 8 laps on the board, and let's see, though, how they can all dance out there tonight. Great start by Jackson Dixon. He'll lead him down the back straightaway, side-by-side battle. That is Adam Scott working the bottom side of the speedway. One driver a little bit out of control off turn number 4. We'll see if that draws a caution flag. That was Cody Schaefer. That got out of shape in car number 27. Looks like he's able to gather it back up and keep on ticking here. Dixon still out front. One driver down to the bottom side. Believe... not on my scoring monitor. Looks like a transponder not on that car. We'll see if we get an update. Either way, out front, it is still Jackson Dixon, Rittenhouse Dahl. Chris Thibodeau right there in car 44. The Fusion Speed Shop, number 44. He's picked up 2 spots here in this heat race as they'll get 3 to go when they come back across the line. It'll be 3 more times around in the final heat race of the evening. Schaefer having some more problems towards the back of the field. Oh, a little contact there. Thibodeau into Dahl. Dahl going to hold on to it for the time being. Rittenhouse goes through the slick. They're going to go 3 wide with 2 laps to go. 3 wide, 2 laps to go. Dahl has it. Thibodeau was coming for it. Not able to tiptoe himself into the spot. He'll slide. Here comes Rittenhouse now down to the bottom side. He'll throw the slider on the 44. 44s are wild as the white silk is out. Final transfer spot is heated up here. And don't forget, Adam Scott is coming. Here's the battle for the race lead. It's going to be Dixon across. So it'll be Dixon, Dahl at the line. 3 wide, bumping sideways. 1 around. It'll be Rittenhouse, though, taking the final transfer spot. So Jackson Dixon taking that one. And then Dahl and Rittenhouse. Another great heat race. So it looks like we locked 9 in. We turned the lights on all around this speedway because we're going to go with a B main right here. We already got 9 in. We got 9 more drivers to lock in. If my uno doses and traces are correct, I should say. Being passed along the information, my uno doses and traces do not trace. We're going to go with 2 mains here. We're going to take 4 out of them. All right, that's what we got. That's the word we've been given. That's what we're going to go with. And is it going to give us a starting lineup? Nope. All right, old school. Brandon Schatz on the front row. Chris Thibodeau to the outside of him. Nate Wemhoff, who is having a great heat race, he'll start P number 3. Cameron Chandler will start into the 4th spot with Ian Rumsey there into the 5th spot. Brandon Carroll in 6th. Donnie Thibodeau there into the 7th spot. Drake Baxter in the 8th spot. And Devin Hauer and Keegan Newberry. Looks like Newberry and Chandler will be scratches here from this one. These races here, the next 2 you see out onto the speedway, 12 laps the distance, taking the top 4. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Top 4, 8 drivers, 4 to qualify. Who do you got in this one, race fans? Is it going to be Hauer from the trunk? Will it be Schatz from the front row? Maybe Wemhoff looking for a little redemption. What about Baxter? You could make a challenge for any of these drivers here tonight. So here we go. Pace trucks in. Schatz, Thibodeau to the front row. Green flag is in the air. Green flag in the, call it B main number 1 here tonight. Look at them down the back straightaway. Schatz, Thibodeau. Here comes Wemhoff, Carroll. They're side by side. Wemhoff going to lose a spot to Carroll. Now here comes Rumsey. Rumsey to the outside. Car number 25. Number 9 on the timing and scoring. Wemhoff down the back straightaway, just not able to get off the bottom side of the speedway right now. It's great on the entry, but look at the momentum rip around the top side of the speedway. So currently Rumsey is the transfer machine. Man, Wim Hof, though, able to really get in the corner, whether it's the inside lane or the outside lane. Oh, that time going to put 4 over the cushion there, 4 in the fluff, if you will. Baxter has pulled it to the infield. He will call it a night. He will not transfer in. Howard back here into the 6th position. He's been granted 3 spots. Was supposed to start at the tail. 8 laps still remaining here. It's still Brandon Schatz out front. Chris Thibodeau right there. Brandon Carroll holding the 3rd spot, and Ian Rumsey still holding the final transfer position currently. Wim Hof, though, is right there. If he were to make a mistake, he'd be able to pounce. Right on board with the number 48 of Wim Hof. Look at how close he is. These cars are hiked up on the left rear. Trying to get around that rocket, number 25. Remember, Rumsey has the transfer spot. You're riding on board with the 5th position of Nate Wim Hof. Shot still out there. And car 34. This time by 4 laps will be left. Here comes Hauer. That time by Hauer had the fastest time on the speedway. Side by side, though, is Wim Hof and Rumsey. They switch spots momentarily, but Rumsey has it. Here comes Wim Hof down on the bottom side again. He'll slide up in front of the number 25 there of Rumsey. Rumsey gonna return the favor. Can he get up? Oh, he's gonna. Oh boy! Wim Hof hard into the outside wall. Howard nowhere to go. That one hurt just watching. It's right on board. Riding on board with the number 48. He was there, and then all of a sudden, watch it one more time here. Here comes Rumsey. Rumsey going to get to the inside. Wim Hof. Then there's Hauer. He gets involved. Wim Hof was going for it, hammer down. Looking to see if Nate Wim Hof did have to take an unfortunate toe to the infield. We'll see if he is granted any time in the work area here tonight, as I believe we're going to get the one to go this time. See how this plays out. Yep. One to go before we go back green. Shots Thibodeau, Carroll, Thibodeau, Hauer. Rumsey is back out there. Wim Hof not. Rumsey having a little connection issue here currently. See if that clears up when we go back racing. Green flag back into the air. Put 2 laps on the board. Carroll trying to pick up some spots here early as this restart goes. Little contact for a second. Shots out front. Thibodeau, Carroll making the contact. 25 there, down to the inside. That is Rumsey. So Shots looking like he's going to pick this one up. It'll be Shots, Thibodeau, Rumsey, Carroll all coming across. So Shots picking up a last chance or a B main last week. This week making the charge again. So he's pretty familiar from coming out of the Consolation races. Looks like we're getting another one here. They're going to line up like this. Johnny Tucker on the front row of this one. To the outside of him, Jeffrey Hyatt. Adam Scott into the inside row of row number 2. That'll be Clay Bowden. Robert Callies in the 5th position. Jay Henderson in 6th. Robert Eversole in 7th. Robert Clements there in 8th. Then it's going to be Brett Williams, Dustin Burchett, and Cody Schaefer. 11 cars for to qualify. Looks like we got everybody on this one. Everybody wants to go to the big dance, so they all show up here. Who do you got coming out of this race here, race fans? Do you got Bowden, Henderson, Callies? How about Eversole? He had a good car, and it got just the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, Schaefer from the tail. You just never know. Heck, last week we saw Shots come from the last chance qualifier and in 50 laps worked himself into a podium finish. So you can come from anywhere. We got to thank all you race fans out there tonight tuning in to watch the Outlaw Pro Late Model Series presented by the Outlaw Dirt Series. Good to have them for their second showing here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We have more racing like I was ready. Trying to take an old swig of the pop, and it just didn't work. Johnny Tucker out front. Contact. One car going to the infield. Caution lights are on all around the speedway. Clay Bowden getting turned around in car number 10. That was down there in turns 1 and 2. Wasn't even ready for it. Let's take a look. The black machine with the green covers got turned around by Jay Henderson. Nowhere to go for Brett Williams in the 0-1 entry. Watch it again here. Straight T-bone there in the door. Unfortunate, but you do see Clay is back out onto the speedway. He has not actually come to the hot pits for his pit crew to service that machine. He's just going to let it rip tater chip. So Tucker is still the race leader. Only got through turns 1 and 2 for Tucker. Jeffrey Hyatt, they're going to double him back up here. We're going to give it another go. Williams is going to be able to come back out onto the speedway. There you see him. In the 0-1, he'll snag the back of the field. I think we're going to get, one more lap, yep. We doubled them up, and then Williams was coming back out onto the speedway, so we gave him the lap. And now they're just double-checking now that he came back out onto the speedway if everybody is good. And we can fire this one back off. Remember, this is the final race here before we go feature racing tonight. 50 laps in the A main feature event here from the Lanier Raceplex. Race number 3 of the season. Next week, I believe, is a non-points race at Eldora, if I am correct. Tyler's probably cringing like Roger. You should know that. I hope so, because I scheduled a golf outing. Either way, we make it work. Dirt racing, some of the best racing. That's why we enjoy it so much here on the iRacing.com platform. Hope you enjoy watching the iRacing broadcast here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Able to watch some of the favorite stars and cars from your local dirt tracks right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with the dirt series that we bring you. Should be ready. Everybody is 2x2. Let's see, green flag is in Barney's hand. Green flag back out onto the speedway. Here we go. Great start by Tucker once again. Tucker, Scott, Hyatt, Callies, Henderson is how they are. See the bottom groove starting to come in here with 10 laps to go in the B main number 2. Big bump off the bottom side of turn number 2, though, starting to develop. Tucker, Scott, Hyatt, Henderson in the transfer spots. Callies, Clements, Eversole, Burchett, Bowden, Williams, and Schaefer all currently on the outside looking in. 71 of Robert Clements there. You see him in his hot rod ripping the top side of the speedway. Just behind him, that is Dustin Burchett. One driver into the outside wall there. That is Callies. Callies is the first car that is out of a transfer spot. They all have to go catch old Jay Henderson. There you see car number 18, the 51 speed entry. So So this time by, there's the 5 fingers into the air. It'll be 5 more times around the speedway. 1 car down to the inside. That is Schaefer. Schaefer having some problems. He'll let the rest of the field come by. So as he lets the field keep on circling, still the top 4 drivers have broken away from the 5th place machine. The 1 there of Robert Eversole. Jay Henderson trying to get around. That is the 66 of Jeffrey Hyatt. Remember, top 4 are in, but hey, every spot is another row when we go to the feature. Next time by, we're going to get the old popsicle sticks back up into the air. That was a great shot there. You saw how Hyatt and Henderson's cars came off the bottom side of the speedway. It's got that bump going down there in the corner. Right there that time, Jeffrey Hyatt. Looks like 3 and 4 pretty smooth. White silk into the air. Even from that point of view there from high above the tower here, we could actually see those cars jump. Coming across the line, it'll be Johnny Tucker, Adam Scott, Jeffrey Hyatt, Jay Henderson. Everybody else going home here tonight. So old Johnny picking up that one. So Tucker able to find himself in with Scott Hyatt and Henderson. Great heat races so far here tonight. Well, we're going to wet the old whistle, though, before we bring you that 50 laps of side-by-side pro late model racing action here for the Outlaw Dirt Series race fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the 50-lap feature event right after this.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave
motorsports and racing cars is a big part of the heritage here at G-Stone Motors. Todd and I have been racing each other for years. I love the one-on-one competition. It comes bottom line, we're all behind each other and support each other with everything we do. I think that says a lot about our company's culture. I'm Vince Quinville, Service Manager at G-Stone Motors.
G-Stone Motors, your family Ford dealership, Route 7 South, Middlebury, Vermont.
I'm Jake McDonough, one of the co-owners of Woodware. I work with Drew and my dad Brian, and we've been here for a long time. We have a great relationship with G-Stone Motors. They've always taken great care of us. I remember when I was a kid riding in G-Stone box trucks. The G-Stone service department has been great. They get us back on the road as soon as we need. If we don't have our vehicles, we're not doing business, and so they always make sure that we're able to operate, at our highest level. It's been a great relationship.
G-Stone Motors, your family Ford dealership, Route 7 South, Middlebury, Vermont.
Welcome back here to Lanier Race Fans, getting ready. The final touches being done on these machines. The final touches being set to the racetrack. Looks like 17 drivers have actually locked themselves in here tonight. So I told you the Uno Doses and Traces were not very good from our Pennsylvania studios here. You got the Pennsylvania Education. Typically we tip over cows, and that's how we count here in Berks County. But hey, we're ready to go. We got the drivers locked in. We have everybody here. We got to thank all of you race fans tonight for tuning in to watch the third race of the season here for these drivers in the Outlaw Pro Late Model Series presented by the Outlaw Dirt Series. So give us a shout out. Where are you watching us from? Who do you have tonight penciled in to go to victory lane? Is it going to be one of the drivers who are at the top here, as in the points championship standings, like maybe Redford? Or is it somebody going to be like, Henderson, who's going to have to come from the tail? Maybe it's Anderson from the middle of the field. We're about to all find out here together. This is the starting lineup here tonight for your feature event. Dylan Coyle going to start car number 81 on the pole here tonight. To the outside of him, car 55, that'll be Aiden Lewis. Jackson Dixon there in car number 25 will roll from the third spot, while Stephen Rayfield, your point championship leader, will start from fourth. How about it's the Bachman, the Full Throttle Motorsport 007 of Sam Bachman will roll from fifth. James Dahl in car number 90 will go from sixth. Peyton Anderson there, you see him in car number 43, he'll roll from seventh. And Seth Krebs there in car 268 will go from eighth here tonight. Harry Rittenhouse in car 44 will go from the 9th spot. And how about Schatz himself? Car number 34, that's Brandon Schatz. He'll start 10th. Johnny Tucker, you saw him there in the last chance, if you will, the B-Main number 2. He'll start 11th. Chris Thibodeau in car number 26 will start there into the 12th spot. 13th on the call will be Adam Scott. Then it'll be Brandon Carroll, car number 51, going from 14th. 15th tonight, Jeffrey Hyatt in car number 16. And Devin Howard in the 316 will go 16th. And Jay Henderson will be the final starter here tonight. So we thought it was 18. We're going to cut one. We're going to go 17 deep, rolling here in the feature. 50 laps the distance is what we have on the scheduled docket here tonight. We do have a couple green white checkers if we were to need them. I don't think we're going to need them because this is one of my favorite dirt tracks, and we have some highly skilled dirt racers here on the iRacing.com platform. So we're ready to go. They're out there. They're circling 2x2, 17 deep. We're dropping the hammer on these fire-breathing pro late models here for the Outlaw Dirt Series green flag here at Lanier. Great start, 3 wide towards the front of the field. These drivers already getting after it. You see the bottom working. Oh, boy. That is going to be Aiden Lewis side by side with Jackson Dixon. It's going to be Dixon squirting out as the second place machine. Everybody still chasing. 3 wide back there. It looks like one driver getting bounced around. That's the Bachman entry, the 007 Full Throttle Motorsports Vertex Graphics 007 of Bachman. He was getting jousted around. I didn't know it was Renaissance time. Shaggy TV 007 finally seems like he's got it under control, but then look at Krebs back here, Rittenhouse, Dahl. They're all jacked up side by side, 3 wide. 3 wide, and that 268 of Krebs had to back out of it momentarily. Just out in front of him, that's Rittenhouse and Dahl that got together. Dahl backing up just a little bit. Seth Krebs is right there. That bump down in turn 2 on the exit has not gone away. We are 5 laps in the books this time. It has been all led by Dylan Coyle out front, Dixon and Lewis in tow. Rayfield and Bachman holding the final spots inside the top 5. We're watching the battles just outside the top 5 because it's hot and heavy. Here comes now the 43. That's Peyton Anderson trying to get into the mix here, the 43A. Just behind him, that's Tucker and Scott. Remember, they had to come out of those B main qualifiers here tonight. Everybody now migrated down around the bottom side. That was Brandon Carroll down there in that green and white 51. Almost got into the inside wall. Able to hold on to it, though. Showing how close you can get. There's a battle for you, though. Rayfield trying to get that number 57 into a podium position here. We're going to go 9 laps completed this time by. All laps tonight so far led by the number 81 of Dylan Coyle. Lewis Rayfield right there. Looks like Jackson Dixon and his transponder having some issues here. We'll see where he pops back into focus. Well, right now we're being scored as Coyle, Lewis, Rayfield, Bachman, and Rittenhouse. That looks to be what we are currently at. Jackson Dixon having some problems. He has pulled it pit side with car number 25. That's unfortunate for that driver, as he was one of those drivers running inside the top 3 spots. A little contact here. You see Schatz and Jay Henderson getting into it. One driver up against the outside wall. That is Johnny Tucker. Oh, Rubbins racing out here. Here comes Jay Henderson. He'll move the Schatz machine out of the way. Devin Howard now trying to muscle him up and get to the inside. This track right now is right down around the bottom side. And a little more contact from Henderson and Schatz. Schatz got into the back of the number 18 of Henderson. This is all going on right now for the 12th, 13th, and 14th position, respectively, out there onto the speedway. We're 15 laps this time by into this feature event. It's hot, heavy, and that's for sure. I mean, woohoo, boy. One driver currently off and out of this race. That is the Jackson Dixon entry, 17th being scored for him. Where's the race leader, though? Let's take a quick peek back out of turn number 4. He comes. He'll put another one up on the bid board for himself. That'll be the 81 there of Dylan Coyle. He is out front. There's the gap back. It's about a 1.5 second gap back till you find the 55 of Aiden Lewis, and there is Stephen Rayfield, your points championship leader. There's Bachman making his appearance here tonight at Lanier. He is currently running back into the 4th position. Harry Rittenhouse in car number 44. He has picked up 4 spots here tonight in the feature. And just behind him, that is car number 90 of James Dahl. Dahl started in 6th, dropped back a little bit, but he is back to running in the 6th spot in car number 90. Then you got a good gap deficit back to the number 268 of Seth Krebs. And the hard charger so far here tonight, car number 51. There you see the green and white machine. That's Brendan Carroll, the driver out of Concord. He is currently up 6 spots, running 8th, and I don't think he's done here tonight. Just nice and smooth as look at it. There is Johnny Tucker. Tucker is up top, trying to see if he can make it work. He's the only driver riding the fence line. Oh boy, had to hold on to it there as Scott came up and took away the line on the straightaway. Kind of killed the momentum as they're 2x2 once again. 29 laps remaining here in the feature. You're watching the battles all for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. They're all right here. Tucker still up against the outside wall, trying to bang down the boards, make the track a little bit wider. Find the moisture up top, if you will. Scott leading this group of cars right now. Scott is running in 7th. They're still too wide. And it's Tucker, Krebs, Carroll, Howard, Anderson, and Henderson. They're all right here. Started to pull away, I believe. Schatz, Thibodeau, Hyatt back there. A little bit off this group's pace. Next time by, we're going to see the cross flags into the air to be halfway home here tonight. These drivers have started to calm it down a little bit. The Mighty Ducks 268 there of Krebs. At one point, he was the highest running driver, actually. Now he's fallen back outside the top 10 as one driver into the inside wall. He'll nose it hard into the inside wall. That was the 43 of Peyton Anderson. So Peyton Anderson nosed hard in the 43A. Let's watch it from high above here. He was battling. That is Krebs. And that's Hauer behind him. Oh, came up just a little bit. Watch for the back deck here. Had no idea that the Seth Krebs entry was out there. Thought he might have just cleared him. So that's what puts us under the first caution flag here tonight of our feature event. Ran half of that one here tonight under the green flag conditions. So it's Coyle, Lewis, Rayfield, Bachman, Rittenhouse, Dahl, Scott, Carroll, Howard, Tucker. From what I am getting from the tower here. I believe the iRacing.com pace truck having some difficulties here tonight at Lanier. So we have an extended caution. Waiting for Peyton Anderson. That's what it is. Anderson getting his time here tonight in the hot pits. Remember, they do have a quick repair, a fast repair, a backup car, however you want to say it. We're ready this time, though. Out of turn 4. Barney has the green flag in hand. We're back racing. Great start for Coyle. Rayfield trying to make the outside work here. Look at them all bunched up down to the bottom. Is this Daytona? No, it's a 3/8 mile here tonight at Lanier. 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide momentarily there on that restart. That restart's going to work. Restart's going to work out for Stephen Rayfield. Rayfield able to get around Aiden Lewis for the time being. Bachman, Rittenhouse are just trying to hold off the hungry hippos back here, if you will. Look at Rayfield rip the top side of the speedway. There you see him in the 51 factory speed entry. He was up there. Here he goes. Back to the top side. He's bringing the 55 of Aiden Lewis along with him. And they are running some of the fastest times on the speedway. Dylan Coyle, though your race leader that time, did hold the fastest lap of that by 0.2 of a second. But man, Rayfield looks good up around the top. That time by, give it to Rayfield as the fastest machine out there. Rayfield, then Coyle, then Lewis. Bachman sitting right there. Rolling down around the bottom side of the speedway, just trying to go catfishing here tonight. There's Dahl, then Scott, Rittenhouse. There we go, got the camera guy. Scott and Rittenhouse, they're side by side. That's the battle for the 6th, 7th position. Then behind them, there's Jeffrey Hyatt and Brandon Carroll, Devin Hauer. They're all right there. They've been that way all night long. Just wherever one goes, the other will follow. 15 laps remaining. A little damage there on the 66 of Jeffrey Hyatt on the left front. Devin Hauer trying to knock in that right rear quarter panel, if you will. Rittenhouse also up around the top side of the speedway. Oh, Pinball Wizard! Everybody hangs on to the Pinball Wizard. They went from 4 wide to 3 wide still out there. Everybody making it work. One driver up into the wall. I believe that is the Johnny Tucker entry. Nothing has happened at the front of the field. A half a second gap. You're watching the best battles on the speedway here tonight at Lanier. And it's all happening here from 7th on back. 7th on back. Jay Henderson in that purple number 18 machine. He has actually been able to pick up, one driver broken. One driver broken up against the outside fence. The second caution flag of the evening flying. That is the 316 Full Throttle Motorsports driver of Devin Hauer. Hauer having himself some problems. Didn't get to see it. I saw the car jump to the outside. Watch the 316 here. Into the corner he goes, and it just broke. It broke, and right up against the outside he went. Check out this. We have the Full Throttle Motorsports onboard camera with Devin Hauer. Rides it in the corner. Little contact there. But I don't think that's what broke the right front on the Hauer entry. So Hauer will have to use his quick repair, and then he'll get back out here, hopefully. Should still be able to go 2x2. We don't go single file, I believe, until under 10 laps remaining here. Only driver out of tonight's event is Jackson Dixon. He was able to pick up the heat race win in heat race number 3 here tonight. Won't get the feature finish that he deserves. Had a fast hot rod. Had to pull to the hot pits on lap number 9. Back to green flag racing we go. 11 laps. Who has what? Here comes Bachman. He'll look to the outside. Not able to get to Lewis's outside. Now he'll go under attack. Here comes James Dahl down to the inside, and that's going to bring Henderson. This caution flag bunching up the entire group of racers out here. Henderson going to be right there battling to see if he can get inside the top 5 now. He's up 11 spots. What's another one? That would give him 12, and then he's still got a few to climb. Double high fives at the flag stand. It'll be just 10 laps to go, and just like that, we're at 9 laps to go. That's how fast these laps here at the Lanier Raceplex do happen. Coyle has checked back out, actually, to a half a second race lead. There you see the second place machine of Stephen Rayfield. There's Aiden Lewis, and then it's Bachman and Dahl and Henderson, Hyatt, Scott, Carroll, Rittenhouse. The top current 10 drivers out there onto the raceway with just 8 more rotations left here tonight. It is now or never if you are Stephen Rayfield, because if you want to pick up another win, you gotta go. You gotta pounce on the number 81. Of Coyle. 6 to go. Next time by Barney the flagman. He's going to stick 5 fingers in the air and hang them out, giving high fives to every driver as they come by. It'll be high five time as they come out of turn 4, and Rayfield going to overstep that one. Lewis still holding on to third. Bachman just cannot find a way with 5 laps to go to get himself onto that podium. Dahl has been sitting there behind Bachman for a number of laps also. These drivers have not seemed to want to go to the top side very often here in this feature. It's been a lockdown bottom side of the speedway. We've seen a couple of these drivers have to muscle up and use somebody up to get past them. Drivers towards about the mid-pack here with Rittenhouse and Carroll and Scott. They're all trying to search around with 3 laps doing it for Dale here tonight. 3 laps remaining as they work down the back straightaway. Under a mile of racing left here at the Lanier Raceplex, because this time, throw them up, dump them out. It'll be 2 more times around the speedway for Coyle. He has led so far every lap. Rayfield has just been locked into second for a while, and there's Lewis in third. White Silk this time. It'll be the final trip around the speedway. Coyle out to almost a 1-second race lead over Rayfield. Lewis has a chance. He'll drive it in deep into 3. Not going to be able to get there. Across the line they come. It'll be Coyle picking up the feature win here tonight. Coyle, Rayfield, Lewis, Bachman, Dahl, Hyatt, Henderson, Scott, and a crash on the front straightaway as we finish this feature off. Rittenhouse and Carroll will be the drivers that all come through. But there is your winner here tonight of the feature. The Premier Racing Setups number 81, Dylan Coyle. We're going to talk to the top 3 finishers here tonight after this one. Going to take a quick step away, I believe, and then we'll be back to talk to these top 3 just after this.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Lanier Raceplex tonight. Round 3 for the Outlaw Pro Late Model Series, presented by the Outlaw Dirt Series. What a great feature here of 50 laps, 2 caution flags, and 17 hungry drivers to see which one of them would be able to pick up the checker flag at the end of this one. But we got those top 3 finishers after this 50-lap feature standing by. We're going to start 3, 2, and 1 in that order, race fans. So what do you say? You get to take a break of listening to me and hear what it's like from the driver's point of view. Let's head trackside here as the first driver tonight, finishing in that 3rd position. Aiden Lewis, a great race for you here tonight. You were able to battle inside the top 3 all evening long in this Rocket Chassis entry. What did it need, though, to go up there and get back around Rayfield and run down Coyle, who seemed to have a stranglehold on it here tonight?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Probably just a better driver, to be honest. I don't know. I kept making like little tiny mistakes every once in a while, and Devin was being pretty good. He wouldn't make any mistakes at all, so that's really about it.
Talk about the little mistakes. How hard is it on a track that seemed to be locked down on the bottom side to not make that mistake? One little mistake, and I've seen a couple of the drivers here tonight go straight backwards like a freight train.
Yeah. When you're train racing like that, just one mistake can set you back so far. So, yeah.
Well, a great race here tonight at Lanier for you, Aiden. Is there anybody on the quarter panels of this machine that make it all possible to come out here on a Sunday night? Yeah. Big thanks to Midwest Imports. They helped me a lot, getting better and everything. And Majula Safe Speed Shop and Miller Inc. for my wrap. And that's about it. There you have it. He started 2nd. He'll finish 3rd here tonight. Aiden Lewis walking away with a podium spot. One driver ahead of him, though, car number 57, Stephen Rayfield. Stephen, a great run for you here in this number 57. But let's ask you from your point of view how this race went.
I mean, it went great. It's Lanier, man. Whoever runs the bottom the best, and whoever saved their tires for the best. I used the top up a little bit too much there around lap 25. I went up to the top to get around Aiden, and I just absolutely chewed my tires, man. And it's honestly okay, though. I'm totally content with running 2nd to Dylan Cole here. He's always super fast here, and always whooping up on me here most of the time. So I'm really content with how this car did tonight.
You talk about content here and finishing 2nd. Are you looking big picture when you say content? Because you came in as the points championship leader, and once again, you're going to leave here tonight still the points championship leader.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as much as I would have loved to win this race and at least try to contest for first, man, it's just, I mean, yeah, I can say I'm looking at the big picture as well, but man, I mean, Dylan's always fast here, and I honestly just have nothing for him. So I'm really super happy with the way things went.
You're happy with the 2nd but what did you need to get first?
To be able to run this track like Dylan Cole.
Well, that's easy then, right? We'll take his notebook
no.
when we're done with this one. Hey, next week, though, we're done with the 3/8 miles for a while. We're going to go to the big track at Eldora. What do you think you got when you unload there?
For sure, man. I think we'll have a good piece for next week. We'll definitely be in top 3, unless unfortunate situations happen. But no doubt, top 3 there for sure.
Well, he's calling a shot like Babe Ruth. We'll see how it ends up for you, Steven. Before we let you go, though, who's on all the sides of this 57? Because, well, they're all pretty straight except for that right rear quarter panel.
Yeah. Man, first of all, obviously 51 speed setups, man. I've been working my butt off on them, and I got drivers giving me some feedback. So all that's great. It's working out really well. But besides that, Hoosier Tire by Goose, by God Chim Sots, 51 Designs, and a big thanks to Henderson Amusement for sure. Without him, this setup shop or this factory team coming up next season, without him, man, it would just simply not be possible. So big shout out to him for sure. XR1. Other than that, that's about it.
And there you have it. He finishes second tonight, and he will continue to be the points championship leader as we get ready to, well, move on to Eldora. Eldora is not a points race next week, but hey, let's talk to the race winner. Let's roll the red carpet out here tonight. Dylan, you pick up this win. You lead from wire to wire. What kind of setup you got underneath that right foot?
It just takes a lot of practice here. I would say this is by far my favorite track on the sim. It just takes patience, not burn your tires up. I would say first 30 laps I ran half throttle just to save tires, and the last 20 I just let it eat. Just run the bottom, not making mistakes.
Yeah, mistakes is what a lot of these drivers I heard throughout the night. The bottom side, make a mistake, you head backwards. Was this car good enough, though, that if you got put under pressure that you were going to be able to go to the top side of the speedway and hold on?
I tried the top. I saw Rayfield in my rear view come around the top in 3 and 4, and I tried it one turn, and I couldn't do it. So he was coming on the top, but luckily he burned his tires up too quick, and I just pulled away from him.
Tonight's race, you talk about the tire situation. Would you like to see it a little bit shorter, say 10 laps, or would you have liked to go another 10 on top of this?
I think I could have won another 10. Even 75. 75 would have been good. Just got to save tires. Tire maintenance.
For a long time here on iRacing, tires were not a thing on the dirt side. How hard has it been to adjust to using up the tires?
So I've been on a sim since October of this past year. I'm still learning tire management. I'm just going to have a lead foot. I can't let the car spin in the corners, and can't let it eat 24/7.
Well, it was a great race here tonight for you, Dylan. Let's roll the red carpet out here. We're going to hand you the microphone because I'm sure there's people, because it's a good-looking car. I'm sure there's people that helped you out to get here.
Yes, sir. So I'd like to thank 51 Speed for the setup tonight. I didn't have one, so big thanks to 51 Speed, 51 Designs, Henderson Amusement, and By God Sim Shots, and Tires by Goose.
There you go. That's where he got his tires. By Goose, race fans. Here tonight, car number 81, Dylan Coyle is the driver that will take home the big check, if you will. And that's going to do it from here. Where do we go next? We talked to Coyle, we talked to Rayfield, Lewis. Where do we go from here? Well, next week, it's an off-air week for us here. It is a combined series next week with the Outlaw Dirt Series. They will tag along with the Rush Dirt Car Series at Eldora. So, hey, race fans, you don't got to listen to me. I can tell you that. I'm sure you're thinking that's a good thing out there. But we had a great run here tonight at Lanier. Where do we catch you guys next time we bring back the racing action? Well, hold on. Let me pull that up for you. We're going to head to Port Royal, right in the backyard here from the studio. May the 17th, May the 24th, we head to Port Royal. Then May the 31st, we will head to the Oswego Speedway just north here to our friends in New York before we head to Lima Land over in Ohio. Then we head to USA, Knoxville, I-55, Cedar Lake, and Volusia to wrap up the season on July the 12th. Well, race fans, what I can tell you, though, We're going to wrap the wires up here. We're going to pack them up. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in 2 weeks' time to bring you more racing action here with the Outlaw Dirt Series. So from everybody at the Outlaw Dirt Series, all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, my name is Roger Muth, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's virtual show here from Lanier. Till we catch you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.